Unfortunately, our engine cut off again and our fuel filter showed that it was clogged. It was clogged, so now it's time to open up the tank. Okay, it looks better than I thought it would for the amount of times we've been clogged, but I need to get in to get a better look. I can't see anything that looks bad so far. I see a little bit what looks like just black dirt on the bottom, but not much. Like, not enough to be a real issue, I think. Huh.
We can't see anything in the actual diesel tank, so we've got two other things we can try. One is to change out the secondary filter, oil filter, fuel filter, so that just in case there's some junk that keeps blocking up in there, we take care of that. And the other is to put in this BioBore stuff. It's a microbial growth treatment for diesel. Basically, the idea is if there's some bacteria growing in our diesel, which can happen if there's any layer of moisture in there, which can happen at any time really, but especially if your tanks aren't topped up all the way all the time, which in our case is very true, it could block up your fuel intake as well, your filters as well. So that is going to be our plan. What we're going to do is treat it to, quote, shock the system. So we're going to put a large amount in to sort of treat any current bacterial growth, but also then put in a little bit extra that will help prevent it for next time. If this doesn't work, then we go to other hypotheses, but we'll see. We've got a few hour ride today, so this will be a great chance to test it out to see if this system, this solution works this time. So, let's see. We are back on our old friend, the Atlantic Ocean. It's a very light wind day today, but the wind was at beam, which means 90 degrees to us, which is usually very nice to sail in, but started off at 7 knots. We were making 3, which is not bad. We would have still gotten to our destination at like 9 p.m., which is not great, but wind dropped down to 4. We're making about 2 knots now. I started hand steering just because I could hear the autopilot working away and I felt bad for it, so I wanted to give it a break. But yeah, it's a little slow. I think we might need to turn on the engine if we want to make it anywhere before tomorrow. So, yeah. It's so nice without the engine on. You can like hear the waves. There's no autopilot grunting below us. There's no engine roaring. It's just nice, calm winds. Until the wind dies and our sails are flapping everywhere. But yeah, it's been very lovely to just enjoy the weather like this. Another reason to get to our destination before dark were these very pretty but kind of scary clouds that started to roll in all around us.
We have made it to Georgetown, and our engine didn't die the whole time, which is exactly what we're hoping for. We turned it on, everything is looking well, we don't have any additional pressure on the fuel, which is a good sign that there's not anything blocking it up right now. We'll have to run it a few more times after this. If everything looks good, that means that the fuel treatment worked, and hopefully we can trust our engine not to die on us, so that's really good. There's a big blow coming through. It's going to be 35 to 40 knots, so that's something we need to hide from because it's going to last for 4 whole days. So while we're here, we can tuck in Georgetown, see the town, see all the exciting cruiser stuff they have here. And while we're here, we think we have a big project that we want to take on as well.
Okay, so 25 1/4. No, I think that's 3.5. I think this is our most daunting task that we've taken, and I think it's why we've put it off for so long, which are the solar panels sleeves, the flexible solar panel sleeves that we're going to build over our bimini. The toughest part is to make them without putting any new holes in our bimini. So that's why extra calculations are needed. We have to be triple checking everything, rough drafting everything before we cut, and then our first time using our big fancy Sailrite machine. I hope the first of many, many times, and we'll see how it goes. But first, more math. Okay, so for the space on the, okay, so we are using Sailrite, 2, 3. We're using Sailrite material because it's vinyl and that is much better for chafe protection. the edges of the solar panels do chafe whatever's touching it very easily, so we don't actually want our cloth touching it. So that's why we're kind of making a frame for each solar panel, but the inside of that frame, that the part of the actual solar panels touching it, is going to be made of this fabric, which hopefully will make our panels last a long time. So we have
Everything you need?
4 bases, and then the 2 folds for the sides, a fold for the aft, and a fold for the bow. It all makes sense. It all makes sense, I promise. We have all the cuts we need for the Sailrite, and the next are the cuts in the fabric. All right, it's sticking well. So as per the instructions on the Sailrite video, which we will link below, we basically are prepping our pieces to be sewn. So we've cut all the 4 sides. We're doing 1 solar panel at a time. We cut all 4 sides, and we are basically temporarily gluing the pieces together so that they can stay together while we take it to the sewing machine with some basting tape. And once this is done, we can finally actually turn on the sewing machine, which you haven't. And we started when there was still sun out, and there is no more sun anymore. So this has taken us a considerably longer time than expected, but I think it's coming out really nicely. So almost done.
This tail loosely, and I'm going to again rotate the flywheel from the top toward me until the needle goes all the way down and then starts to come back up, and I can tell when it's starting to come back up because this take-up arm will start to rise.
Oh, but we have to have a bobbin first.
And when the take-up arm is about 3/4 of its travel up.
Okay, ready? All right, posi pin is in. This is a piece of scrap. We threaded thread through for the first time, and it's the very first time we're gonna use our Sailrite. Oh, I hope I don't break it. How do you go back? This button. I don't remember. Oh no. That can't be good. Messed up.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't think it's supposed to do that. Okay. Press your foot up. Oh man! When you're sewing was so stressful. Ah! Alright. Oh, I don't know what that is. Okay. Alright, so we cut this. I don't know what this loopy thing is. Oh no. Okay. Well, we're going to be cutting these short anyway, and also sewing over them a few times. So I think the problem is I didn't lock the stitch somehow. So, but I think it's okay. I think it came out pretty nice. This is the second one. So the first one might have been a fluke, but I think the second one is good. I think the tension is good. Yeah. Okay, let's keep going.
Looks great. Good job.
Whew. Okay.
So how many more of those do you have to do?
So we have to do these 2, and last night we put the basting tape on, but we spent so long troubleshooting different stuff. Like, I couldn't get the threading correct, and it's just such a learning process that we actually never even got to. It was like 11 p.m. I just wanted to go to sleep, so the basting tape is coming off a little bit, but that's okay. It sticks back up the next day, so that's, good to know. But we got one more to do, and then then we start to make the frame. All right. So 2 go on the side. to go here. So we're going to cut these and make a frame out of them. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. I might need to watch the video one more time. I forgot. I think I put this on backwards. But yeah, frame next.
You can't really hear me right now, but I'm gonna try dry fitting this. Alright, here we go. Never better last time. Happy with that, Spandana? I know, it's awesome. Now let's put the solar panel, let's put the panel in. We don't have to take the Dodger down, you can just stitch this by hand, right? No? Okay. Alright, let's make 2 more of these things.
Alright. I think with a little adjustment, it's actually like a glove, a fine fit of a glove, a little tighter than I think I wanted it, but it fits. Then we're just gonna put a little slit underneath one of the corners to snake the 2 lines out, because this is the most starboard panel. The middle panel is actually going to have a slightly different dimension so that we can allow all the wires to be connected there. And the only thing that the starboard and most port panels are going to have is just a slit for 2 wires to go through. So, very, very excited. And it is so windy outside. You don't feel it in the boat as much, except a bit of shaking, but yeah, definitely feeling it. Sewing under very interesting conditions, but we shall get this done!
Alright, I think that went pretty well. Edges seem crisp, very crisp, so crisp. That's a good edge. Happy with that. So these are the connectors that go into the solar panel itself. So this goes on, this is the front, on the other side this is the back. So put that in there. Screw that in. Comes with a little handy tool to tighten it up even more. This takes a little while because you have to tighten it, but okay, the 4 connectors are in, so all we need to do is pull these up, place them onto their connector, press down, and we're good. The panel is basically complete. We'll make sure all 4 of these are snapped in tight, and the last step is to get the Dodger off and connect this up fully. Okay, we got everything off except for one zipper, which is completely stuck. It's always something.
What have we tried so far?
Tried PB Blaster to clear out the corrosion. We've tried some acetone to see if that helps. But that is a very, oh, not very, we've actually seen more corroded than that, but it's a pretty corroded zipper.
Actually, I mean, everything sits. This is so hard. We do not have the square footage to do this comfortably, and this zipper woke up today and chose violence because it refused. We tried vinegar, we tried PB blastering it, we washed it with soap and water, we, I don't know what else we did. We acetoned it. I think the only thing left is more vinegar and more baking soda, maybe something with a toothbrush. But it is stuck and it will not come, which is making all of this so much harder. But we sort of just had to say, you know what, let's just put one stitch in, we can take it out. Which has been like the motto of this project is try it, and if we mess it up, we can undo it. So one side of one panel is sewn down, and it is not looking as terrible as I thought it would, so that's progress. That's something.
As you can see, we've put the Dodger back up because we unfortunately were not able to get everything actually placed correctly. We've put a ton more stitches into each one of the panels. You can see how tight they are now, so hopefully that will let us stitch correctly and also hopefully get the zipper that's stuck off. Okay, we did it. This is now separate. Let's take this in and let's sew it up. Whew.
Ah, another zipper. Ah. It's really nice that we don't have to deal with the Dodger, but getting these guys, getting the teeth underneath the foot to the other side, and now there's another second set of zippers here that I need to get under. Yeah, this has been definitely the toughest part of this project, is getting the material into the Sailrite correctly.
That is definitely not the toughest part.
Yeah. Okay, yes. Hand sewing, like, 10 stitches per side in the sun where it says it's 80 but it's really like 95. That is definitely the hardest part. And then there was the zipper, and now we have this. We are all showered up when we are gonna go hang out with some friends. I think the Sailrite has kicked our butt a little more than we expected to, but hey, I don't think anybody expects any more of two very beginner sewer seamsters. You know, so, but part of it is done. It is now back in its little box. We'll deal with it tomorrow. But for tonight, we go hang out with some friends and share a bonfire and some stories and catch up. And remember, the most important part of cruising is to go have fun. Oy. So close. So the issue that sometimes is popping up, and we're much better at dissecting it, is the stickiness of the basting tape. So we are going through so many layers of fabric that all that basting tape that helped us before is our biggest enemy, because everything is gunked up. This is breaking because there's so much glue here. There's glue all over the needle. There's glue inside the bobbin mechanism. So we have to take everything out. We clean everything up with acetone, and we clean everything up with mineral oil afterwards. We put everything back in. We run a few stitches through our poor little test strip and get all the oil back out. And then we can get back to sewing. We got 2 more sides left. We're so close, but you could hear the grinding because, yeah, the glue is not just here. If I hold it, you could see the stickiness push the bobbin out. That's how sticky it is. There's stickiness here, and if I take the bobbin out, yeah, there's, I don't know if you could see that glue separating, but there's glue all inside here. So time for a little bit of cleanup, but very, very, very close.
2, and that's 3. Okay, so we have the power, positive and negative, coming out of the solar panels. This is a 3 in parallel, so we are connecting all 3 to this. This is what's going to go to the solar controller. So these 3 go in here. So right now we're just figuring out how do we want to route these wires underneath the new cloth we have. We We've already done the minus over here, so all of these kind of swung around and managed to fit underneath this big cover here. So yeah, plug these all in, and then we just need to build one wire to connect everything. What a beautiful day in the harbor today. Sun's going down. I think we've got most of our solar project done, but where is Spandana? Oh, what's this over? Oh, there she is. Hello, Spandana. How's it going?
It is not a boat project until you're doing some boat yoga.
And what are you doing right now?
I'm connecting up two things. So, done. Okay. So this wire that we made is going to go into our solar bus that's over here. It's going from our solar MPPT 75 to the solar bus, and then we have these black wires that are coming from the solar panels that are also going to go into the 75 MPPT, but we have to wait for the sun to go down so we don't get electrocuted. But we can kind of do the first part. So, difficult part done. Can't feel my knees. It's time to come out of the... What is this? Anchor locker.
Cockpit locker.
Cockpit locker. I'm really tired.
Come on out.
All right. Hoi.
You okay?
I'm okay. I forgot this moved. Okay. All right. Dinner time while we wait for the sun to go down.
And why can't we connect up everything?
Because we'll get electrocuted.
All right.
As stated earlier.
All right, we're gonna electrocute. I forgot about that.
Yeah, don't get electrocuted.
Or we'll blow our solar panels. That's also bad.
Or blow our solar panels, which I think I would just throw the whole Dodger out of this rather than unstitch those panels.
Agreed. All right, let's have some dinner and we'll get some headlamps and finish up tonight.
Headlamp time.
I'm gonna make dinner.
Bye-bye! I'm gonna clean up. Welcome to the forest of the willow threads. To be cleaned up. Being cleaned up. Thank you, Dave.
No problem. You want to see what I'm doing?
They're up and they look amazing. It's very windy, so I don't know if you can hear me, but all three panels fit. The wires are all nicely tucked away, and the wind and the rain last night, it held extremely well. So happy about this project, and it's done. It's finally done. Very, very proud of ourselves.
This is one of our favorite parts of Georgetown, is just all the lights that you see around you at night from all the other boats. So we just see this field of what kind of looks like stars down near the water, which is basically all the anchor lights here. I think there's something like 300 boats here right now, so they just kind of fill this entire side of Elizabeth Harbor with their lights.
Thank you for joining us on this wild ride of a project. Join us next week as we find out just how hard it is to leave Georgetown.